Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today I'm visiting the Aston Martin Centre at Millbrook Proving Ground because I'm taking a look at this very special car. This is the Aston Martin DB10. Of course, the car that has been created especially for the new James Bond film Spectre coming out very soon. So this is a pretty exclusive opportunity to have an up-close look at the Aston Martin DB10. Now there are only 10 of these in the world. It's been created exclusively for this movie, so no customer cars. It's not a production car. And out of those 10, actually all survived to this day from the filming. And one of them, which is this very car, chassis number 10, is going to go up for auction next year to raise money. So that's quite a special car to be able to take a look at. So I'm going to show you around the car, and then we're going to be able to jump into the Stunt car, chassis 8, with Mark Higgins and go out for a little onboard ride in that car. So I'm going to show you around, talk a little bit about it. Let's get underway. So like I said, it's been created just for the movie, full carbon fibre body, and one of the quite sort of special things about it is how you have sort of a one-piece front clam. Everything is created with a sort of minimal number of parts, which is very special. Some very cool design, sort of hints at what Aston Martin are going towards in the future, maybe with the next road cars. So equally back here, you can see this whole rear piece all the way over the roof section is one single component, all the way around the back on the rear clam. So it's, like I said, a hint towards Aston's design direction, what we're going to see in the upcoming cars. And Aston have created this specially for the movie because there's been a long history between Aston Martin and James Bond. They featured in 12 of the 24 movies, had 6 different Aston Martin models appearing, and of course James Bond and Aston Martin are often in the same sentence. They're very closely connected. It has under the hood the 4.7 litre V8 that we know from the V8 Vantage S, of course. It's got a 6-speed manual gearbox. New wheel design, just for the film, created in limited numbers. So this car has these wheels, and the stunt car out on the road actually has some test wheels on it as well. Door mirror, well, bare carbon fibre mirror arms, and quite a cool mirror design. And sort of new lights as well there, below the ducktail sort of spoiler at the back. Now obviously there are lots of gadgets on this car. I can't show you too much about those now. You'll find out about all of that when the movie comes out. But the caution hot sign down here next to the exhaust should be a little hint. I think that's already been seen in a trailer before now. Some interesting design there around the splitter. In familiar Aston style, we have these door handles, and the doors open up sort of swan doors upwards and outwards. We can take a look around the interior. Now this car went from concept to sort of creation in just sort of 5 or 6 months, so this is not built as a production car, it's more a sort of demonstration of what's possible. So it's got the new seat design, which is very cool with these sort of leather padded sections on the carbon fibre seat. Lots of sort of leather and nice materials used throughout the interior. Around the doors you've got these leather straps, all the carbon fibre of course, with the different leather bits. When I step in, look at the dashboard. Super modern, cool bit of design there. Speedometer and all of the dials in the centre. It's kind of like a watch face. So that's quite special. Steering wheel, squared steering wheel like the Aston Martin 177. This car actually borrows, I think, some cool design features off that. We've got the controls, dials, switches, lap time, launch control, a control panel here, different sort of settings and options and modes. This is really awesome to be able to have a proper look around. We've got the air conditioning controls, control up here for the displays up there, air conditioning here, and then we get to the 6-speed gearbox, manual gearbox of course, and the infotainment controls here, which are pretty awesome design. It'd be wicked if that comes through to fruition. We've got a leather sort of glove box bag up there. Down here, this box is to start the car. The movie producers didn't want to have a key for the car because it makes filming so much more difficult, so they wanted to build a built-in system to fire the car up to make that a little bit easier. And then back there, nice Aston Martin badge on the rear deck. You've got the carbon fibre struts through here too. So on the inside, this is very cool and a nice sort of look into where Aston Martin are going. Seat control here. Yeah, awesome. I think now though it's time to start up the car, hear how it sounds, and then jump into the stunt car that's just returned. Joined now by Mark, who's going to take me out in this car, the stunt car.
Yeah.
First mission though is going to be getting it.
This took about 3 weeks for you to get right, so
yeah.
Get your leg over there, across the roll cage, and then dive on in. Obviously we wouldn't normally have that much around the feet, so if you can try and keep your feet away from the main dials over there, that'd be great. That goes over your shoulders.
This is going to be quite exciting. There she goes. See you in a bit. I can't reach the door.
Right, so what we're going to go to now, we're going to go to the outer Huddling circuit, which is about a half a mile little loop, all right-handers. But it'll just give us a bit of fun around the stage. It's actually quite grippy, so we're not really going to be going sideways, but it's still quite a good experience around there.
I'm sure.
So this actual car is the one we did a lot of the work with in Rome.
Right.
It's not just a copy, this is my... You always have a favourite car, and
so out of all the ones, this is your...
Stunt Gadget 2 was the one that I always sort of preferred to go into. I don't know why.
Okay.
They're all built exactly the same, but there are a few very slight differences, and it just became my car, I suppose. Or the one I wanted to drive.
So how many of them were used in the, I guess, in the filming of driving scenes?
Well, we had pod cars where you actually drive from the roof. We had the 2 stunt cars. We had the 2 gadget cars.
Okay.
We had the 2 hero cars.
Yeah.
And then there was 10 cars built in total.
Yeah.
Half of them are around the world now. Some of them had the engines taken out because they were used for, you know, just visual. They'll have in car, for example, with Daniel talking in the car. But everything's all still in one piece, which is great.
Good. Awesome. The sound is amazing.
Oh, it does sound great.
Absolutely brilliant.
You can imagine that rattling round Rome at 3 o'clock in the morning was quite impressive. So.
I saw some of the sort of spy shots of your filming.
Yeah.
So that would have been when you were driving, I guess.
Yeah, it was good. We had some great, well, we were there for 3 weeks pretty well all the way through it.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. That was a lot of fun.
My pleasure.
Absolutely awesome.
You know, this is really, I mean, it's a shame we didn't have some big cones and do some stunty stuff, because she's not designed for what we're doing out there. But at least gives you a bit of a buzz in the car anyway.
Oh, it definitely gives you a buzz.
Alright.
Brilliant, we're back. That was a lot of fun. The sound in this thing, because obviously it's built bare minimal, so it's just the sort of lack of sound deadening you can see in the door panels. Just awesome, the V8 screaming away, and just really exciting to be able to have a look at it. Clamber out over the scaffolding. Here we go then. The DB10 experience then, really cool, but now I'm going to have a go with some of these cars. And I'm going to kick off with the V12 Vanquish Volante. Of course, the convertible version of Aston Martin's Vanquish. 6-litre V12, 568 brake horsepower, 8-speed ZF box. So I'm going to find an instructor and we'll jump in and go for a short little test drive. The noise is to die for.
It's great, isn't it?
The new gearbox is significant improvement.
Yeah, just hold it off the throttle till you get out, and then pick up the gas now. To your side, over to my side. A little bit of a brake now, into the right. Accelerate over the crest. Stay on the left-hand side. On your brakes now, we're going up to the right. And this is where they did the rolling Casino Royale.
Oh yes.
Just stay on the right side. Getting nice and parallel to the barriers, nice and square. Over you go, you're fine.
Brilliant, significantly improved just by the gearbox. Very, very responsive. And the car sounds amazing. Great short little test drive then in the Vanquish Volante, and now I'm going to head out in the V12 Vantage S. So we've got the same V12 engine in the small baby Aston. Of course, I'm very familiar with the V12 Vantage because my father owns one, but the S, now we've got 565 horsepower instead of 510, and we've got the 7-speed Sport Shift gearbox instead of a manual box. So we're going to jump in, go for a quick little test drive again, and see how it compares.
So the main essential difference between the Sportshift 2 and the Sportshift 3 gearbox that we see in the V8 or the V12 Vantage is mechanically they're very, very similar. The main difference is you've got a twin plate clutch in this. Yeah. So the single plate clutch in the V8 Vantage does a very good job with the V8 engine transmitting the power to the road. Because you've got a much more powerful, much more torquey engine here, having a twin plate clutch means it can be a smaller surface area on the clutch, well, as in the smaller diameter of the clutch, but because it's grabbing the clutch on both sides, it can transmit more power and torque more effectively. Right. Okay. It means the clutch has got less inertia, so you can spin up and spin down much faster as well. So it suits the V12 characteristics better. It's still a single clutch unit, it's not a dual clutch gearbox, it's just a twin plate clutch.
Right, okay.
So when you're ready to go, pop it into gear as you've done there, and then handbrake's already off, so a little bit of gas, just pull away around to the left. Pop it back into second gear for me. What I ask you to do now is you can ask you to accelerate the car using about half throttle. While you're accelerating, I'll engage the sport mode for you. So when you're ready, half throttle, sport mode coming in now.
Oh yeah.
This is a real step change.
Yeah, the throttle pedal response.
Yeah. So it starts back at the exhaust pipe. Opens up the exhaust bypass valves much earlier in the rev range. For two reasons. Firstly, most importantly, it sounds cool. And secondly, it allows the engine to breathe better at lower revs. It gets rid of the gas better, so you get less back pressure in the system. The ECU recognise that, recognise it can produce more power at lower revs, so it changes the throttle now to give you a stronger fuel-air mixture at lower revs, so it gives that performance boost. So with your familiarity with the 4.7 V8S and the original V12 manual car, you're probably noticing straight away that this feels just a little bit softer in the suspension setup. Both of those cars, particularly across the rear axles. One of the things they did when they went from the V12 to the V12S, they just softened the spring rate on the rear axle side to give it a bit better traction. What you've got now is you've got the adaptive damping on the car, so that gives you the ability to tune the suspension to the conditions of the driver that you want. So if we put it all the way up into the track mode from the normal setup, but at the moment you feel the car just firms up on you. Steering becomes a little bit more responsive. You feel the bumps in the road more, but it's back more to that sports car feel that you had in the original V12.
back from the V12 Vantage S then. A lot of fun. They really have worked well on the gearbox on that. Very smooth and a very enjoyable drive too. We've also got the Rapide S, DB9 GT, another Rapide S, normal Vanquish Coupe, and of course the star of today's show, the DB10, the James Bond Spectre movie car. It's been awesome being down here today, taking a look at these. Very, very special opportunity, especially going out with Mark earlier too and hearing it from the inside with so little sound deadening. The V8 sounded awesome. The car just looks very, very cool as well. Very special and wonderful to be here and be able to take a look at them. Very pronounced front grille, and this is all sort of hinting at the design language for future Aston Martins. It's a project car for the movie. So yes, very special to be here. And of course, if you're wondering about any of the camera angles and the things I've been filming, there are obviously very special rules for what the camera is allowed to see here at Millbrook. It is a testing facility, and there is a lot of other activity that goes on here. But it's awesome to be able to bring a camera in where normally it is not allowed. So there we have it. The movie is out very soon. I can't wait to see it, that's for sure. And a proper look into the Aston Martin DB10. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out all of the other videos on the Shmee 150 channel, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. For the very first time, I'm able to take a look at my own McLaren 6.
Games. It's a way for Bugatti to bring their vehicles to the fans and let you guys out there.
I'm driving the Koenigsegg Agera R, and not only am I driving an